You'd think that in the aftermath of the falsified attack on an 11-year-old Toronto Muslim girl, that there'd be mea culpas all around from those various elites who were so quick to pass judgment on what turned out to be a crude hoax.
This morning, me and my brother were walking together to school, and sadly, someone insulted me by cutting my hijab 2 times, and I felt really scared and confused because I didn't feel comfortable that people are doing this, and yeah.
But guess what? In some circles, it seems that even calling a hoax could be deemed Islamophobic. In the aftermath, sorry seems to be the hardest word for elected officials. Rather, typical responses were along the lines of, okay, this slice of Islamophobia didn't happen, but let's not pretend it isn't happening somewhere, maybe. The media party was even worse, dropping this story like the proverbial hot potato, and by far the worst media analysis post-hijab hoax came via Bernie Farber, who penned a logic-defying column in that hunk of fish wrap known as Now magazine. Farber's mind-numbing inanity begins with the very headline of his column, namely, hijab hoax on who? Now check it out, hoax is in quotation marks. Even at this late stage of the game, even after an admission by the hoaxer's family that this incident is 100% halal certified phony baloney, well, those 66.99 quotation marks frame the word hoax as if to suggest that it might be a hoax, that this incident is now being reported on as a hoax. Farber, who used to be the executive director of the Mosaic Institute, is often diligent in fighting against Holocaust deniers. Well, that's a good stand to take, to be sure, but this time it seems he really jumped the Sharknado. According to Farber's recent column, he is miffed by how the perpetrators of the hoax are being treated. For example, he states the following, quote, "For me, the really sad part was the reaction on social media from those who chose to berate the child to viciously condemn her and her family," end quote. Now, attacks of any kind against children, well, that's uncalled for. Wasn't the little girl's fault, probably. She was likely manipulated by the so-called adults in her life. But generally speaking, how would you expect people to react to a criminal act being carried out? With sympathy? With applause? Oh, and fake news alert. Farber fumbles when he misstates that Islamophobia is up 600% in the last year. What he is presumably referring to here is a CBC report regarding online hate speech of various kinds jumping 600% in the year leading up to Trump's presidency. And here's some more hysteria peddled by the author. He reports that protests last year condemning Motion M103 were anti-Muslim rallies that were held in front of downtown mosques where bigots and Islamophobes gathered to spew their hatred. No, Bernie, the outrage by and large was directed at an ill-thought-out political motion, not Muslims. As for the downtown mosque protest, I am presuming Farber is referring to the Masjid Toronto Mosque, in which it was alleged that an imam had preached death to Jews and infidels. Odd how Farber doesn't mention that in his article. So to recap, in the fantasy world of Bernie Farber's column, there's maybe a teensy-weensy chance that the hijab shredding incident is indeed real, even though the police and the family both say it was a hoax. And even if the whole thing is indeed a heaping helping of takia, well, we still shouldn't blame the hoaxers. Everyone makes mistakes after all. Oh, and Islamophobia is up 6-fold in just 1 year, even though it isn't. Too bad that in going to bat for the hoaxers, Farber yet again proves he just doesn't get it, which is to say, hoaxes like this do a true disservice to the real victims of hate crimes, be they Muslim or anyone else. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, if you like that commentary, please consider becoming a Rebel Premium subscriber and never miss another Rebel video.